Okay, students, let us study out diffraction at a single slit for Fraunhofer diffraction. As you know, for Fraunhofer diffraction, the source and the screen are at infinite distance from the slit. So, how to obtain it? Let us draw the ray diagram first. See here, suppose a point source, monochromatic source of light is there, from which light travels equally in all directions, in front of which I'll put a convex lens L1 such that the source is at the focus of the lens. Then light rays after passing through this lens becomes parallel. You see here. As light after passing through the lens becomes parallel, we can obtain a plane wavefront. Imagine that this is the plane wavefront. It is the plane wavefront. In front of the plane wavefront, I'll put a single slit of width small d. This is a slit AB, and this distance I will take as small d. Small d is the width of the slit. Now, suppose I will consider this as the plane wavefront. This we consider suppose the primary wavefront. If this is the primary wavefront, then every point on the primary wavefront acts as a new source from which light travels equally in all directions. That are called as the secondary wavelets. These secondary wavelets interfere each other and produce diffraction pattern. Okay, so light after passing through the single slit, they interfere each other. That means the secondary wavelets interfere each other. On the path of the light, let us put another convex lens. Suppose this is the second lens L2 and a screen is placed at the focus of this second lens L2. This is the screen. The light after passing through the lens, the form diffraction pattern which is observed on the screen. Now this point O is the center of the screen. The center of the screen becomes bright. We are getting a maxima here. Why? Because all the rays meeting at the point O with zero path reference. As there is no path reference, we are getting a maxima here, that is called central maxima. Okay. Now here, let us take a point P on the screen which is at a distance y from the center of the screen. Light from all parts of the slit reach at point P. Now we will find out whether point P is maxima or minima. You see the figure. Now we will find out whether the point becomes maxima or minima, under what condition we are getting maxima and minima there. Okay, see here, suppose this angle is theta, this is your theta, this angle also your theta. Now light from point A and B reaches at point P. So what is the path reference from the points A and B in reaching at point P? Let us draw a perpendicular here. And I am taking this point as N. Now BN is the extra path or path reference between the two extreme rays passing through the two ends of this slit. Okay. Now this angle is your theta also. So in triangle ABN, in triangle ABN, your sin theta is equal to BN by AB, or implies BN is equal to AB sin theta, or implies the path reference BN is equal to your AB slit width is small d. This is your d sin theta. Complete. The capital D is the distance between the slit and the screen. Now we will find out the condition for maxima and minima. Let us study for minima. For minima first. First is here, if B and already you know the path reference should be compared with the wavelength of the wave. That means the path from Bn either equal lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, 5 lambda like this, or 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2, 7 lambda by 2, 9 lambda by 2 like this. Let us study out first. Bn is equal to lambda, and in this case suppose theta is equal to theta 1. Then what we can write here from this equation? Now Bn means lambda is equal now becomes d sin theta 1, or sin theta 1 is equal to lambda by d. So this is the position of first secondary minima. What is this first secondary minima? Secondary means this minima is obtained due to the interference of secondary wavelets originating from the slit AB or originating from plane wavefront. Due to interference of secondary wavelengths, we name this as secondary, and this is position is minima. We are getting why? You see here why this is minima. Now here when path reference Bn equal lambda, then suppose this is the slit width AB. AB is the slit. In this case, the slit is assumed to divide into two equal parts. AB, suppose I name this as C. That means from A to C, this distance you can write lambda by 2. From C to B, this distance also you can write lambda by 2. In this case, the slit is assumed to be divided into two equal parts, each of lambda by 2 and lambda by 2. That means this part is your lambda by 2 and this part is your lambda by 2. Okay, then what happens? Now if you consider point, this is A and this point you consider C. From point A, light reaches at P. From point C, light reaches at point P. That means what is the path reference between A and C? A and C, the path reference is lambda by 2. Okay, so light reaches from A to P and C to P is having a path reference of lambda by 2. Lambda by 2 means it is odd multiple of lambda by 2. Lambda by 2 means this can be written as lambda by 2 means this can be written 1 into lambda by 2 means odd multiple of lambda by 2. That means we are getting a minima there. Similarly, consider the lower part. Light from point C and B. This in the figure say light from point C and B can reach at point P also with a path reference of lambda by 2, means which is also considered as odd multiple of lambda by 2. So we are getting a minima there. Complete. So this is the position of first secondary minima. Next, you see in second case now, if Bn is equal to 2 lambda and theta is theta 2, then what is the path reference? According to this equation, 2 lambda is equal to d sin theta 1, or implies sin theta, so d sin theta 2 or sin theta 2 is equal to 2 lambda by d. This is the position of secondary minima. Okay, why this is called secondary minima? Secondary minima means the diffraction obtained due to interference of secondary wavelets. Okay, this is the first minima, so it is named as second minima. Now here we are taking part from Bn equal to 2 lambda. This indicates what? Now suppose this is the slit width AB. In this case, the slit width is assumed to be divided into 4 equal parts, each of width lambda by 2, lambda by 2, lambda by 2 and lambda by 2. So for any point on the upper half, there must be a point in the next half, so that light from these 2 points reach at point P with a path reference lambda by 2. Similarly, for this part there is a point and the corresponding there is another point for the lower half. They will also meet at the point with a path reference lambda by 2. That means light from all parts can meet at point P with lambda by 2 path reference. So we are getting a minima there. Okay. Now in general, so for position of nth secondary minima, we can write sin theta n is equal to n lambda by d. This is the position of nth secondary minima. Now here this theta angle are very small. The slit and screen are also very close to each other. This slit, single slit, this slit is very small, very narrow. As this is very narrow, the angle is very small. Since angle is very small, in place of sin theta, I can write also tan theta. This means tan theta n must be equal to n lambda by d. Already know tan theta equal to p by b. Suppose you consider if this is your theta, for nth fringe, if I can write theta n, tan theta n is equal to p by b. P means for nth fringe, this I can write yn, and this distance is your capital D. Means yn by capital D is equal to n lambda by small d, or implies yn is equal to n lambda d by d. This is the position of, or this is the distance from the center of the screen where we are getting the position of nth secondary minima. Complete. Let us find the fringe width of each maxima. Already you know between 2 minima a maxima is there. So what is the fringe width of each maxima? Fringe width of each maxima means that is equal to the difference between the position of nth minima and the consecutives n minus 1th minima, which will be equal to n lambda d by d minus n minus 1 lambda d by d, which is equal to lambda d by d. So this is the width of each maxima. This is the linear width of each maxima. How to find the angular width? Angular width of each maxima. Now here from this equation, sin theta n is equal to n lambda by d. Already you know theta is very small, so in place of sin theta I can write theta n is equal to n lambda by d. This is the angular width of nth minima. Okay, angular width of nth. For first, or angular width of each minima or each maxima is equal to theta equal to lambda, only lambda by d. Okay.